There was a tradition in Japan that a lot of healers used to move in with their clients. And move in and cook for them and take care of them on a daily basis. Right? So it's just like one client at a time, right? Working, and that would be a great thing if that appeals to you. If you're the kind of person that really likes to do that. But no, for me it's a 2-week, 3-week. My opinion is that when people change their diet, there's two things that happen. Always, right? And create effect. One is the effect of what they don't do. And that sometimes gets put under the rug. You know, if you have a person who's following standard American diet, for instance, right? And they are motivated for whatever reason, let's say they have a health problem or whatever, and they're getting motivated, and you give them a diet, any kind of diet, there's always going to be a long list of things that they stop doing. But I don't know anybody that's been involved in healing work, nutritional healing work, that doesn't suggest that people stop eating sugar. I don't know anybody that doesn't suggest that they stop eating dairy food or either diminish it greatly, right? The same with animal food, right? So there's a whole bunch of knots, right? Commercialized food, chemicalized food, etc. That goes out. If you did just that, and you continued eating whatever was left, right, from that, you would get results. And this kind of sometimes skews, when people talk about their results, this skews a little bit your perception of what's really going on, because sometimes the perception of what's going on is that their body is just going, hallelujah, right? You know, I don't have to deal with this crap anymore, right? And that particular transition that happens there can produce incredible beneficial results. Right? Just that. Right? Don't forget about anything else. Right? Then there's what they do. Right? You know, the diet that they actually follow, the diet that you've given them. And in order to kind of create an image of what's what, you need to go out about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, usually, to really see what's happening. You can't go by what happens in the first week for sure, because in the first week, for sure, if a person drinks 2 cups of coffee a day and they eat sugar regularly in their diet on a daily basis, and they use a lot of dairy food, right? And they're eating meat, mostly what's going to happen in that first week is their body's response to not doing that, right? And that goes for both positive and negative responses. When people stop drinking coffee, they almost always get headaches. If they drink coffee regularly and stop drinking coffee, they're going to get a headache, right? And then they're going to say, but I went on that diet, but I got a headache, right? No, 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 no. They stopped drinking coffee and they got the headache. Many of the people that I was working with at Shaw, vast majority, maybe 75% of them, would come back after 2 days and say, oh, I don't know if I can stay on this diet anymore. I have these thumping headaches. Right? Well, most of them are Spanish people, and they're drinking like this really strong coffee. You know, maybe 2 or 3 cups in the morning, right, before they even do anything. And they say, I'm constipated. Well, of course. They were having the coffee. That's the only reason they were going to the toilet, was because they're drinking the coffee. Right? It didn't have anything to do with the diet. Right? So they say, I want you to change my diet. Right? Because these problems are coming up. So there's something wrong with the diet. Nothing wrong with the diet, right? Something was wrong with what was being done before. And sometimes I used to tell them that I had a special tea that I would give them. And what I would do is I would make a dandelion tea and I would put a little bit of coffee in it. Right? You know, and I would give them the coffee. And oh, that's a miracle. Dr. Bill, you know, there's Dr. Bill. Dr. Bill, that's a fantastic tea. Can you give me the recipe for it? I said later, it's kind of a secret tea to myself. I didn't know. You've got to play all the angles. Right? But that was it, you know. It was just giving them a little dose of coffee every day, you know, to take the edge off a little bit, and then they would get through it, and then their bowels would move often. So, oh, it's fantastic, you know, I was so worried, you know, because I'm eating this food. So that happens. That's very, very common. Same thing with sugar. A lot of people cannot live without sugar. They stop having sugar and all hell breaks loose, right? You know, they get dizzy, they get headaches, they get tired, they want to sleep all the time, you know, and they will always say that it's because of the diet, right? And it's not because of the diet. It's because of what they stopped doing, right? So to sort that out, you usually have to go in a couple of weeks, right? After a couple of weeks, the body has responded to not having those things, and then you get into an area which is more reconstructive. Then you can actually see, okay, this is more, you know, then if they get constipated or if they have headaches or whatever, you can look at the diet and you can say, okay, maybe we need to tweak this or that and start changing things around, because this is really more of an adjustment to the diet.